And away we go here for Xbox Division 3.
Still wheel to wheel coming out of turn 19.
Tries to go down the inside of Desio. Desio giving him space, but not by much.
Oh, and he's oversteered, and he spun.
They're side by side, off the track, neck and neck.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to PPR Esports, coming to you live from North America. I'm Kermit. And, oh, hold on. We gotta turn I'm Kermit.
And I'm Cosmo.
There he is.
Hey.
Cosmo, the commentator's booth looks a little bit different today. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I noticed we're on a new streaming platform.
Absolutely. We have done it, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you have been asking for it for a while, and we've finally done it. We are now on Twitch. Yes, that's right. PPR.
I'm pretty excited about it.
On Twitch. Me as well. So hopefully everything is going to go nice and smooth tonight. But if not, we're going to count on our viewers to let us know what's going on and what went wrong. Or, excuse me, how we can improve things. So let's go ahead and get into it. Suzuka tonight. More specifically, Suzuka International Racing Course 27 laps total around that tonight. 12 with the softs, 17 for the mediums, and 21 for the hards. 18 or 19 total turns tonight, depending on who you ask. We're going to be looking for around a 1 minute 25.7 tonight. Let's get into our team wrap-up. Racing Point, we've got Getchum and Some Idiot. McLaren, Cream and Rogue, AlphaTauri, Dragonbone 81, as well as Silent Ace. Red Bull, we've got Stoney and Shay B, the drivers that have been clawing their way up the standings since last season. Renault, Capita Hood, and Dr. McShorty. Mercedes, Red Hornet, and Custom. Alfa Romeo is Nick and Double OT. Ferrari, Shazam and Maxime B. Haas is Ruda and Max Pena. Williams, Becky B, and Racer 33. Here's our Drivers' Championship. Some Idiot hopelessly out front with 392 points. Technically not over yet. We do have 22 races in the season, and this is only race number 18. So there is time for Becky B to make a comeback, but that would require the losing streak of a lifetime for Some Idiot. Beyond that, we have Cream with 223 points, Dragonbone 81 with 156 points, Hammer Time 44 in 5th place with 125 points. Capita 109 points in 6th. Racer 33 just behind him with 106 points in 7th. Stoney 90 points in 8th. Desiel been showing up towards the latter half of the season, such as he did last year, putting in some dominating performances on the track, getting himself up to 84th in 84 points in 9th in just a short number of races. Maxime B 82 points in 10th. Shazam 67 points in 11th. Fluffy Dave 65 in 12th. Rogue 61 in 13th. Red Hornet 60 points in 14th. Double OT 59. Max Pena 53. Custom, Brownie, and Richie all tied at 50. Silent Ace 43 rounds out the top 20. So looking at that, from the top 20 to 11th, or excuse me, from 20th to 11th, we've got just a little over 20 points gap between that. So be on the lookout for those racers tonight. Their performance tonight is sure to have a huge impact on their points. Moving on to our bottom 40, we've got Shay B, Hugo, Dr. McShorty, Donstas, Simsbad, Ruda, Chen J, Corsac, Gore, Remoto Buddha, Nick, and Randoms, all with points, and a few yet to score points in races this season. Racing Point, a similar story to the Drivers' Championship, 413 points in the bag for Racing Point. McLaren 284 points, AlphaTauri 180, Renault at 140, Red Bull 130. So just 50 points separating Red Bull and AlphaTauri there in 3rd through 5th of our Constructors' Championship. Mercedes 93 points in 6th, Alfa Romeo 64 points in 7th, Williams 42 points in 8th, Ferrari 24 points in 9th, Haas 20 points in 10th. So Williams actually moved up to 42 points in 8th last week after a nice showing from their drivers.
Do you want to join the lobby real quick?
Yep. All right, Suzuka International
Send me a backup
Race
invite if you can.
Yep, we'll do. Suzuka International Race Course. This is actually one of my favorite tracks in Formula One. Partially,
love this track.
Just because of how high speed and high stakes almost all of the turns are. on this track. Like, let's go ahead and look on the map on screen right now into turn 1. Turn 1 is possibly one of the trickiest turns on the calendar for our drivers. You're coming at full speed down that main straight. The first, I don't know, what would you say, Cosmo? Third of that turn is full out. You have to wait so long to break in that corner.
You brake after you turn in, which is really weird in a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, it's just so... It goes against everything else you want to do with your feet. As soon as you start reaching for that brake pedal as you're mid-corner, anytime you've got to be ready for the back end to slide out or the car to shift all its load onto the front wheels and maybe bite into the corner depending on your setup. It's just not something that you really want to be doing, but essential at turn number 1. Turn number 2 is what you have to slow down for. And then finally, once you get through that, you have turns 3 through 7 of the S curves. Now, this is an extremely tricky complex because, like most S curves, the exit of one curve feeds directly into the entrance of the next curve, making it extremely tricky to be able to navigate as a driver. Then we've got the Dunlop curve on your run down to turn number 8. Turn 8 is a quick flick to the right. Turn number 9, more sharp turn to the right, about 90 degrees or so. Then down into turn number 10, sets you up for the entrance to the hairpin of turn number 11. Turn number 12's long sweeping right-hander. 13 and 14 make up the spoon curve, a tricky one to keep traction through. A similar deal where 13 tightens into 14. So you're trying to carry speed through 13 that you then have to scrub off before 14. Long run down to turn 15, a high-speed left-hander. I think the highest speed corner possibly on the calendar, maybe only rivaled by, what turn is that in Australia? Midway through sector 2 there.
Oh, turn 1 in Silverstone too is pretty.
That's
it's
true.
flat out, Nath.
That one is flat out. So
But yeah, I know you're like turn 10, I think, or 11 in Australia.
Yeah, I think what a lot of drivers see in 130R are the elevation changes and the way that the track kind of twists as well. It's can be kind of hard to navigate. Something that just doesn't really happen at Silverstone or even Australia for that matter. Those are pure race, more like a street circuit chicane, or not a chicane, but it's like a street circuit corner where it's pretty flat and pretty high speed. Where this one, especially the whole track, you're just dealing with grade changes all the way. That's one of the reasons I love it, but we'll see that once we get into qualifying here. Right now we've got 17 drivers on the grid, so it's going to be an interesting one tonight. I am very excited. To finish out the track, we've got 16, 17, and 18, the Casino Triangle, as some like to call them, and 19, some people classify that as a curve, other people just classify that as the lead up to the straight or an extension of 18, but there is a nasty dip there that if you let your car drift too far right, you expect to be in that outside wall.
Yeah, I've lost many tires in practice that way.
Oh yeah, they just come right off. Like you go around there, the car skips off the ground because your ride height's probably not as high as it needs to be to go off-roading, and and it just totally unsettles the car. You break the rear tires loose, the car flips around on you, and yeah, those front axles become really fragile when hit at that speed.
Yeah, best case scenario, you're taking an unexpected pit stop.
Yep, best case. Like, and even then you could, like, if your race is over, it's like, okay, well, at least I didn't bounce back in the track and spin uncontrollably, because I could see that if your car holds up, there's a chance you're getting shot right back into the firing line. So
yeah,
enough said about that. We're gonna look for a 1 minute 25.7 tonight in qualifying. Expect some of our drivers to maybe go a little bit faster than that. Some idiot's been known to pull out some very fast times. Richie's been showing up recently, really challenging for the top position. Corsac has been known to really get himself up there as well. Struggles a little bit with the consistency in the races, but very exciting qualifier. Capita Hood, another one we're looking at for tonight. I'd love to see do well. We've got a lot of promising drivers on the grid tonight. The Red Bull drivers of Shea B and, oh my goodness, he's going to kill me. Shea B and Stoney, there we go, who've been with us since day one, or well, it feels like anyway, they're definitely with us in season 1, have just been upping their consistency this year, and really giving Red Bull a shot in the constructors. Right now, Racing Point's obviously leading. They're just so dominant. But Red Bull is right up there in the points positions. They're only 50 points away from AlphaTauri, so from taking third. And that's just pure consistency by these drivers. They hardly ever put it in the wall. They get some time penalties, but they're by far not the worst defenders on the grid. So be keeping your eye out for them. Other than that, moving down into some of the positions on our Constructors' Championship, we do have Becky B at 297 and Cream at 223. So be expecting to see them battling really closely. That is a closable amount of points for Creamy Johns before the end of the season. He just has to keep his car up into those top points and hope Becky B falls down positions. Dragonbone 156 and Hammer Time 44 is at 125 points, so expect that to be close between the two drivers. Just about one race win and a fastest lap separate those two. Capital Hood and Racer 33 are two that we're really going to want to keep our eye on as well. Racer 33, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be in the lobby tonight, so he won't be joining us. But Capital Hood with 109 and Stoney with 90. So just 19 points separate those two drivers. So Stoney and Capital Hood are actually two to keep your eye on tonight. Two drivers that we see going back and forth, trading positions. And we have rain.
Just a little bit of rain.
Just a little. Any rain at Suzuka, as far as I'm concerned, is super exciting. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to that.
And it looks like Richie is Santa Richie tonight. Getting in the Christmas spirit a little bit.
All right. I like it. It is almost time for the holiday. It's crazy. It just, time has been flying by under this COVID fog. Like,
yeah.
Most of the time spent inside is just like, all right, well, you know, I can kind of tell what it looks like outside, you know, maybe going a walk here and there, but as far as social events and things, it's just been a desert. All right, our first drivers are coming out of the pits at the moment. Fluffy Dave, first one to make it out. This is one driver, he's shown up for the past few races, and he has really been putting his name in the top spots there, doing wonderful things for the Haas team, able to get his car. I don't think he's gotten quite a podium as of yet, but he has secured himself 12th in the Constructors' Championship, fighting with Shazam, or Shabam as he's going by tonight. 67 points for Shazam, and 65 for Fluffy Dave. So be watching those two tonight. I think they're going to be going back and forth, and with intermediates on and rain on the track, it's really anyone's guess as to how some of our drivers are going to be able to handle this tonight.
Yeah, and we'll see if we're going to get rain for the race or not, but I'd love to see a little bit at least.
Yeah, that's one of the things, is if I had to choose between a race where it rains the whole race or a race where it either starts wet and becomes dry or starts dry and becomes wet, you get that transition there, I would choose the race that you get the transition in. That transition really shows how drivers are able to handle their tires in non-ideal conditions. Not saying that intermediates in the rain are ideal conditions, but you put slicks on while it's drizzling out and you're gonna see what not ideal conditions are pretty quickly. So Fluffy Dave being the first one to come out of the pits, we're gonna go ahead and ride along with him for his hot lap here. It's gonna be hard braking down into turn number 1. Coming around to turn number 2 here. Nice exit from him, able to keep all the tires planted, minimum amount of wheel slip into the S-curves. See what I mean by the exits feeding into the entrances of the next turns. Taking it pretty conservatively here, I think. Wanting to just set a banker lap and not wanting to send the car into a wall. You've got the end of qualifying to at least try for that.
I imagine he's got like 3-4 laps of fuel in the car anyways. So see where the grip is. Start forming a little bit of a dry line.
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the things that's really advantageous on these intermediate tires, are doing just slightly few more laps than you would on a normal out lap. So what you've typically do, or what you're trying to do in that time period, I should say, is one, reduce fuel in your car, and then also warm up those intermediates, because the intermediates don't have terrible grip under light rain conditions, but if they're cold, they're not going to grip for anything. So you've got to get some heat into them. Plus, like Cosmo mentioned, you really need to be able to gauge on the track where the grip is. If you can't do that, there's no way you're going to be able to set a competitive time. So a couple laps to get acclimated to the track is very helpful for a lot of our drivers, and something you'll see them do often.
And Fluffy Dave was the first one out, so he'll have run on the wettest track unless it continues to rain and rains harder. But you'll start to see a dry line forming where all the drivers drive. Which is, I like it kind of in this game. Adds that little bit of realism.
Yeah, absolutely. The line gets a little clearer. You're able to find that much more grip on different parts of the track. And yeah, I think it's well warranted. I mean, it's something that adds a little bit of strategy into it. So Some Idiot sets our first fastest time with a 137.1. Well, not our first. Fluffy Dave sent the first. 138.1. Not quite up into the 37s yet. 25 is ideal dry pace. So we're
138.9.
What? Oh, I saw the racing point of it. Looks like Some Idiot parked backwards in the grass there.
It's like Some Idiot is in the grass, or not Some Idiot. Sorry,
it's Getchum.
the other Getchum.
Yeah, he's really struggling. He's got to get that back on the track. Looked like he had to wait there for a while.
JB is retired. Dr. McShorty is retired.
He's got a Haas coming up behind him.
Looks like we have an incident in Sector 3.
Oh man, that is true. I can't switch to them.
Let's see. I'm going to Henner's. Henner's will be able to see it maybe if it's not cleared.
Oh.
Looks like Shay-B into the wall there. I don't know if he maybe took Dr. McShorty with them or vice versa.
I think, judging by the fact that how close they were together when it happened, I think it's probably safe to say that they were related. So whether one went, I don't know who went in with who, but I think one of them definitely took the other there. Ooh, 136.4 from Richie,
wow.
Setting in a serious time there. Really impressive on the first lap out. I think we're going to see Some Idiot get there, no question. But just being able to go out in the rain on your inters that you're trying to warm up and just set a time like that, yeah, definitely impressive. So shows why Richie has been a contender in the past few races that he's been a part of. Whoa! Williams of Henner's bouncing off the wall there, getting crazy oversteer on the exit. Ooh, more oversteer across the gravel. Finds not having a wing is hard to deal with. Can't blame him there. This is definitely not an easy track to not have a wing, or not an easy track to have no wing at, I should say.
Especially in the rain. Like going into this hairpin will be real.
Oh yeah, let's see what he does here. He's gonna have to really slow it down. Yep, luckily he's got some track behind him, but it's going to be the Haas of, I think, Ruda? Yeah, coming up behind him here. Nope, not Ruda, the other one.
Fluffy Dave.
Oh, Fluffy Dave.
Your boy Fluffy Dave.
My boy Fluffy Dave. I called it day one. I told you he was going to be a contender. Let's see how Henner's handles getting out of the way here. He's parked at a weird point in the spoon curve, but yeah, now I think he's going to be able to get to the straight, no problem.
Yeah, the straight will be a good place to let everyone by.
Yeah, take note if you race in some other leagues. That's how you want to do it. Get to the straight, let the driver pass. Uh-oh, I spoke too soon. We're not on the straight anymore. We're going through R130. There you go. Henner's gets right off onto the skirt. Look at that. Just what we like to see out of a seasoned racer.
And now
like Henner's.
He should be able to find the pits before the, what is that, an AlphaTauri behind him?
Looks like it. Fluffy Dave's going to come across the line on his third lap of those tires. Goes a little bit faster with 138.0. Now faster than Some Idiot's first time, but Some Idiot is not going to be outdone, rest assured. He's coming back out on an outlap with a fresh set of inters, ready to attack the track again. Getchum, slowest currently with a 2-minute 13. My guess is that was the lap that he got himself all turned around on and had to wait for a bunch of cars to pass. That's never easy when you got to do that.
Ooh, Red Hornet disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
Ooh.
Unfortunate. It looked like they were a couple cars parked in the pit lane, waiting for a McLaren to go by.
Wow, that's a tough one to pick up because that is game-induced. I mean, as a driver, there's things you can do, but there's nothing you can do if you just happen to lose the car there get parked there and the game decides to give you a penalty. So that's an unfortunate one.
Oh, I think they were waiting for the McLaren to get past them, so they were just kind of stopped.
Oh,
Instead of,
well, that's something you
See?
definitely can't do.
yeah, it should have been just trundling along very slowly.
Yeah, you got to time that a little bit better. I mean, that's what the first out lap is for, right? When you come out of qualifying, you're looking at the pits, you're watching where everyone's going, you're going to try and feed yourself out into the track. Watch where the dots are on the track and then and then watch how close they get by the time you get to the end of the pit lane. That should give you a good idea how far along they're going to move. And then you can time it to a certain turn. Say, okay, when a car is going around, the chicane turn of number 16, I'm going to go ahead and go out then because I know I'll just feed out right in front of them.
Or right behind him.
Or right behind them, right?
Probably more ideally.
That's true. Right, yeah, not necessarily right in front of them. But in general, you'll know if you have enough time.
Yeah, I think we're going to see drivers coming in and switching tires now. Looks like Creamy Johnson. I imagine we're going to see Fluffy Dave come in on 4-lap old tires.
Yeah, while we've been
Ruda
talking, we've got
coming in
some
for
pretty
fresh
fast
tires.
times. We got Richie 136.4 where he was,
No
double
one's-
OT.
No one has managed to top Richie yet, though. And I think Richie's about to go faster on this lap unless he makes a mistake, because there should be a lot drier line out there now for him to find traction and grip.
Yeah, that's true. The track is just drying out every chance it gets.
And it looks to me like, I don't know if the rain is slowing, but it certainly hasn't picked up.
No, that's true. It seems pretty much the same as it did when it started. I could be wrong about that. But let's see here. We got a few drivers on out laps right now and a couple on hot laps. Shabam is one of the ones on the hot lap.
Richie just started his hot lap as well.
And you can see that line starting to wear in. It's something that the drivers are looking for as well. So drivers will also use it in stages where rain is coming or going away. They'll kind of dip their tire into it to maybe cool them off, maybe run off the line in the straights. There's any number of things that the drivers can do with them, but in qualifying right now, what we're looking for is to find the driest part of the track with the most grip and really put your foot down. Shabam doing a good job at it right now. Wow, really sketchy curve to do in the rain, but took that pretty nicely. I don't know if it was quite flat out, but it was darn close. Goes around the chicane, keeps it nice and tidy. Chicanes are one of those things that are particularly hard in the rain because you've got the back end of the car wanting to kick you out all the time. What I mean by that is you're shifting the weight from one side to the other very rapidly during a chicane, and that rapid shifting of the weight can really cause the rear tires to break loose.
Some idiot starting to close in on Richie now.
136.5 for some idiot. You know that's not the only fuel he has. So he's going to be able to set
Richie
at least
does
one more
improve,
lap.
though.
He does. 136.2. 3 tenths
Takes
separating
2
some
tenths.
idiot. And, ooh, dip in the grass there for Shabam. Across the apex. Took a lot of curb there. Drifts it to the outside on his run down to the hairpin, turn number 10. Shifting the momentum of the car to the left for turn 11. Okay, the hairpin coming out of it around the high-speed corner, turn number 12. Keeping his foot to the floor. All the way down until the braking zone of the spoon curve here, turn 13. Ooh, throws it out wide.
Slide.
Lap still valid.
Yeah, not a lot of grip there yet.
No. Coming through the chicane here. Yep, keeps it nice and tidy. Goes down the straight once again. Nice. Good lap from Shabam there. Doesn't improve. Stays with the 138.6. Fluffy Dave currently on what looks like an outlap. Yep. He is on his outlap at the moment. Some idiot on another outlap as well. going to go ahead and try for a faster time with 1:36.5. With 4.5 minutes left in the session, drivers are really going to have to pick it up. Now is the time where you need to be setting your fastest laps, partially because the track might be its driest. As far as I can tell, it's raining the same. It might be raining a little harder. But either way, there is a line in the track that the cars have been driving over. You need to find it. Fluffy Dave is going to run wide on his out lap here. Going to hopefully take that as a lesson on his hot lap and try and avoid that wet part of the track. Coming around into Sector 3 here. He's going to come up to curve 130R. Going to look where he can find the traction there. Floats it out right. Really just getting a feel for how this is going so far. And I think he's got where the traction is. But it's going to be a matter of whether he can push through those traction zones. Comes down the main straight. He is off for his hot lap. Here's this late turn braking that's made that much tougher in the rain. Gets around there. Not many issues. So pretty tidy. Coming through the S's, another one where it's easy to get the car unsettled. I mean, really, the whole track is. This whole track.
Yeah, especially with all the elevation change.
Yeah, seriously. The pavement just rising and falling to meet you is something that just really plays with your grip levels and something that the drivers have to compensate for. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a wall. Ooh, runs wide a bit on the exit there. Fluffy Dave, I think, kept his lap valid. He's going to dive into the hairpin.
Track go red.
Able to keep the front end of the car from understeering around the hairpin there. That's something you always want to watch for. Gets close to the grass as he runs wide, but he wants to give himself as straight of a line as possible on the run into the spoon curve. Drifts it wide using all the track there. Those red and white curbs can get extra slippery in the rain, so the drivers have to be careful using those. .130R for Fluffy Dave. Sets a purple fastest for first sector. I believe it. It looked very fast. Richie coming out of the pits. He's going to try and respond to some idiot's lap that is sure to be set in the next few minutes here. Across the line, Fluffy Dave goes faster.
Yeah.
Fourth position with a 137.0.
Yeah, some idiot's coming down the back straight now for what I imagine it might be his second to last lap. We'll see how much fuel he's got left when he crosses the line, but
looks like it. Other drivers on an out lap currently: Capita Hood, Rogue, and Custom. Creamy John's out doing some hot laps at the moment. Is getting those tires nice and warmed up. Fluffy Dave just set a lap, is probably headed for another one as well. Dragon Bone out on the track and setting laps. We have a lot of drivers out on the track, so it's not easy to tell. Like right now, I would maybe be looking in dry conditions. I'd maybe be looking at 4 drivers or so that could still set a lap, but right now we're looking at over half the grid.
and it looks like some idiot didn't improve on his last lap, but he is gonna have another go at it.
Yeah, the rain's starting to come down now. Might be getting a little bit trickier and a little bit slipperier for our drivers here tonight. Some idiot's going to try and fare it pretty well. We got 30 seconds, so this is going to be some idiot's last attempt at a hot lap here. So he has to go all the way out or fear starting in second place. Dragon Bone, I think, could threaten him as well. Dragon Bone into the pits now. Fluffy Dave as well. That is where their times are going to stay. Creamy John still has a chance. Ruda, Rogue, Getchum, Custom, and Stoney and Henners all have a chance to set a time still. Some idiot coming around 130R, keeping his foot flat to the floor. Very impressive in these rainy conditions. Bit of a lockup on the front right.
Yeah, Biggles is saying it's a lock for Santa.
Ooh, look at the rear end of that car trying to step out on him, but some idiot keeps it under control, doesn't go faster, stays with a 136.578. Richie goes 136.2 and a chance to set a faster time even yet. times locked in so far. Well, let's see who's not locked in so far. We got Creamy Johns as well. He's going to be setting another fast lap here. Richie going to finish before him, though. Next across the line, we're going to have the McLaren of Rogue. Goes 7th fastest with 137.2. Comes across the checkered flag. Captain Hood still yet to set a time. Coming through the second sector now. We have the Racing Point of Getchum is going to be next to cross the line. Then it will be the Mercedes of Custom. Getchum goes into the pits. Is going to stay 13th fastest at best. Custom is going to go ahead and post his time. Goes 11th fastest with 138.1.
Oh,
not quite enough.
Like this lap.
Richie, well, he lost part of his wing there.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think he just reset the track.
Yeah, so I don't know if he didn't like his lap there. I think he maybe ran into something. Maybe lost it around the last corner.
It looked like he put it on full throttle right as he came out of the last corner. I think it was intentional.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's something that I guess he could have. Well, he could have at least just been pushing as much as he possibly could. Because at that point, why not? He's got the top spot locked up. He's about to come across the line. You might as well really find the limit of that. If it sticks, awesome, and you probably set an insane time. If it doesn't, well, you know, no love lost. All right, there you have it. That's going to be our starting order for the race today. Richie in first, Idiot in second. Dragonbone and Fluffy Dave finish out the second row. Creamy John's Double OT in fifth and sixth. Rogue and Capita Hood in the fourth row. Ruda and Henners in the fifth. Custom and Nick in the sixth. Shabam and Getchum in the seventh. Stoney and Dr. McShorty 15th, 16th. And Shay B and Red Hornet in 17th and 18th. Red Hornet with the unfortunate disqualification, and Dr. McShorty and Shay B with crashing out of qualifying. So be on the lookout for Dr. and McShorty and Shay B going into the first turn tonight. I think it's going to be contentious. This is always a turn one that can be difficult for our drivers, but tonight especially, when you have something like that happening in qualifying, expect some of that to trickle over to the race. Captain Hood stopping right in front of the finish line here.
Did we talk about tire strategy yet for the race?
Not quite sure what he's doing. I don't know if that was weird. That had to be intentional. I don't know if we talked about tire strategy. I don't know that we did. So we got 27 laps tonight total. Right? We've got 12 possible on the soft, 17 possible on the mediums, and 21 possible on the hards. That's
recommended.
What it's recommended. There's way more possible than that. So, Cosmo, what are you thinking about as a driver when you're deciding what to select for your tire strategies tonight?
Well, everyone should be on the optimal strategy tonight, so I imagine we're going to see a lot of people start on softs, especially in the front of the grid. Maybe hope for an early safety car, get a free pit to the hards. Hards taking almost to the end of the race from lap 1. I mean, you probably don't want to pit on lap 1, but, you know, like if you get a lap 3 safety car, probably it'll be a little risky to the end on hards, but probably doable, especially with safety car laps, and, you know, maybe throw in a VSC later in the race and should be able to conserve those tires nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a bit of a pipe dream to expect there to be no safety cars at a track like this. It's just something that's
dry for the race
natural to them. Okay, so it is dry. So the chance of a safety car, I would say, goes down quite significantly when you start talking about dry versus wet, especially at Suzuka.
I think turn 1, though, is just always a recipe for disaster.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, no matter how good the people in the session are or in the race, it's just such a high-speed corner. You know, you could probably take 3 wide. You can only take that. So, you know, 3 or 4 down into 2 is just never going to work.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that.
It's definitely possible with this on this straight into that corner, you know?
Right. No, it's...
So we'll see.
Yeah, we will. It'll be interesting to see from our drivers here. I mean, expect grip to be something that the drivers struggle with a lot. Even on the softs, they're supposed to go 12, so you could theoretically, I mean, you could do a soft, medium, and be 2 laps in the clear for the recommended amounts, which is pretty safe to assume that there's some grip.
So Funky Cactus in the chat is saying PPR Nick's computer crashed, so Capita Hood was slowing up so that he could get back into the into the lobby.
Got it. Thanks for the explanation there. That's always a good sportsmanship we like to see. We understand we can't wait all night here at PPR, and we can't get in each other's way on the track, but Capitol Hood just trying to lend a helping hand until the session timer naturally ran out.
So,
and let Nick
a
get
lot
back
of
in.
mediums to start the race, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Richie, Some Idiot, Fluffy Dave, Creamy John, Double OT, Rogue, Capitol Hood, Ruda, Henners, Custom, Dr. McShorty, and Red Hornet all starting on the mediums, everyone else on the softs.
Wow. That is quite a vote of confidence for the mediums then. The drivers have spoken and they've decided that they want to start on the mediums. And I mean, I get it. It's
Probably a good race, very good race tire.
Yeah, I think it is, right? I mean, and it's going to last the time that you need, and it gives you some options. So on tracks that have extremely high tire wear, I try to think about the tires as being stepped down a tier most of the time. So what I mean by that is mediums would probably have grip life similar to what you would see in the soft. So now this doesn't apply to our most talented drivers in the league. This just is something I think about when thinking about tire strategy. So what I mean by that is when the mediums start to trail off, you only get what you would normally expect from the softs as far as your optimal grip laps. So from soft you get 3 to 4 just optimal grip laps, and I'd be expecting to see that from the mediums here, where the softs, I think maybe 1 to 2 laps you can keep your optimal grip before you start having to battle tire temperatures. That's just going to be something that's a very real battle with our drivers.
Yeah, a safety car would help the soft drivers out a lot, I think. Even if they don't decide to pit, help to stretch them out and maybe get to a set of mediums for the end.
Definitely. Drivers are pulling up to the grid now.
AWS is saying the optimal is to go to hards, so we'll see.
Interesting. If a driver wants an abundance of grip, I would tend to agree with them. So some drivers may want that. Not something I'd necessarily expect our drivers to do.
It looks like Shea B is just forming up now.
The cars snap to attention. Watch for the lights. Their lights are on. We've got 5 lights, and they're out. And away we go tonight
Ooh,
at
start for Some
Suzuka.
Idiot. Oh, it's Santa Ricci, just a little bit better second phase, I think. And he's going to cover that inside line beautifully.
Richie stays out ahead, but the rest of the pack to follow. We've got an intense battle in the backfield with the McLarens and Alfa Romeo. The McLaren just squeaking it out of Creamy Johns, staying ahead of Double OT. Fluffy Dave up to 4th. Dragonbone in 3rd. Some Idiot 2nd. Santa Ricci staying out in 1st. Double OT, Rogue,
Ooh,
Henners.
Stoney's going around in the back.
Ooh, Stoney's not going to be happy with that. That is an unfortunate mistake after Red Bull there after having such issues in qualifying. Yellow flag sector 1. We are all back to all greens and drivers are up to speed. Creamy John starting to establish a little bit of a gap to Double OT. Henners going around now is out.
Oh, yeah, a big crash between a McLaren and was that the Williams of Henners? It must have been. Rogue and Henners got into it.
Virtual safety car for our drivers here. No overtaking. That's going to give
looks
Stoney
like
a little bit of a chance to.
Gitchum and Dr. McShorty must have come together because Gitchum's got a 5-second penalty for a collision.
Wow, which also took out Henner's. Unfortunate break for the PCD2 driver tonight, trying his hand as a reserve in PCD1. Very unfortunate for him. Not going to be happy with that finish at all.
And it looks like Rogue is missing a bit of his right wing.
Virtual
Yeah, about a
safety
third
car.
of it.
Wow, virtual safety cars got to be coming to an end relatively soon here. Cars look to be cleared from the track. Only on now, there we go, updated to lap 3. Virtual safety car staying out for, I think, probably a little longer than necessary here. There we go, back to
DRS
racing
enabled.
speed.
There we go. Oh, this is only lap 2. This is another glitch of the game where it says we're on lap 3 on the second lap every time.
Ah, cool. That's neat. It's got to be hard to count the number of laps you're on. All right, Creamy John's in 5th right now, is establishing a 6/10 lead on Double OT, but is not out of DRS range on Fluffy Dave and is within driving distance of Dragonbone 81 as the grid decides to shuffle itself around on the the left side. We're going to try and go from memory as to see who is in what position. We've got Richie out in 1st place right now. Oh, great. It's not going to let my camera views be super great either. All right, awesome. So we got Richie out in front of the race, leading right now ahead of Some Idiot by about 4/10. We're going to choose to trust that. Then we got Fluffy Dave following them in third. You can see him. He's got a nice view of the battle that's going to be happening between Dragonbone and Some Idiot if Dragonbone can take advantage of the DRS. Fluffy Dave in danger of falling out of that interval himself. As soon as he falls back 1 second further, he is going to be out of that DRS range. However, there's a lot of drivers within the usable DRS ranges at the moment. Shay B is a good example of that. Only 2/10 behind Ruda right now. Ruda running in 9th. Wow, big lockup from Shay B. Looking at the back of Ruda's gearbox, decided he needed to get a closer look, but luckily kept it out of the back of him.
And now DRS will be enabled. So Santa Ricci's got only a short distance to lose Some Idiot before I think he might be stuck with him.
That he might be 7/10
I
behind
think
means he's going to get the DRS advantage.
There's only DRS down the main straight here though, I think.
Shay B and Nick going at it with Dr. McShorty having a great view of the spat between the two. Shay B got the run on Nick ever so slightly, but Nick was able to take that position and keep it for the time being. Oh, Shay B losing speed in the traction zone. Dr. McShorty's going to try and take advantage of that. Is going to go down the inside, just leading into the hairpin, forced to go to the outside.
Ooh,
The soft tires
switchback,
working out
though.
well for Shay B. Dr. McShorty definitely getting a better exit there. Shay B starting to
He
struggle.
will
on those
have the
soft
inside
tires.
for Spoon.
Side by side, neck and neck, soft tire versus medium tire. The Renault goes down the inside. Oh, and the Red Bull comes out
wow.
ahead on the run around the outside, keeping his top speed up, paid off there. A very, very close battle going on for a 12th right now.
He's gonna try him, I think, down into the triangle.
Getchum is getting himself in there as
Oh,
well. Is going to try
Thinks
for the
better
ooh.
of it.
Oh, Getchum and the Mercedes of Red Hornet get together. Red Hornet losing a wing. Getchum doesn't need another penalty, but I think that one was Red Hornet's fault, but the stewards would have to review to know
Red
for
Hornet
sure.
into the pits.
Now Red Hornet goes in. Not surprising. He's going to need more wing than that on a track like this. Riding on board right now with Getchum. Going on to the onboard, you can see he's just attacking Dr. McShorty turn after turn. He's going to have to pick his point. Does he decide he wants it to be in the exit of the S-curves? A very popular point for our drivers
he's
to
gonna
pass
have a good
here.
run at him up the hill, I think.
Falling back ever so slightly, can't quite get it done. He's not far out of it, though. I think any slip-up by Dr. McShorty is going to get capitalized by Getchum here.
I think Spoon might be the place he's got to do it with Dr. McShorty having DRS on Shay B.
Yeah, it might be. That's just one of the turns that you can get
Gotta-
a very good run on.
And unfortunately, does not get a very good exit. And he's got to get a good exit out of the hairpin if he wants to get a run on him down into Spoon.
As we're talking, Shabam trying to get an outside run on PPR Nick. Looks like he gets it done. Shabam with a nice move there. Looks like Nick might have been trying to challenge him for the position, but Nick decides he can't have it. Back to our battle for 12th. Right now, oh, the Racing Point getting right in the gearbox of Dr. McShorty, getting up close and personal, just trying to find it. Whoa, Shabam goes around. We're passing him. So now it is a battle for 11th with Shay B leading the pack. Getchum is starting to get frustrated. He's starting to use the extra grip on those tires and take a lot of life out of them, I think. Gets the pass done down into turn number 1, has to keep it clean in order to keep the position. Dr. McShorty slots in behind. Now he's content just sitting in the DRS pocket. Is going to maybe try and make Getchum defend a little bit. However, I think Dr. McShorty knows that he can't challenge too much. He's got to let Getchum tire himself out when he battles with Shay B and Nick down the road, and then pass him then.
Ooh.
Cap it hood with a 3-second time penalty.
And it looks like Santa Ricci has now broken the DRS from Some Idiot.
He has another good battle going on right now for 5th place. Double OT, Creamy Johns, Capita Hood, and Custom all running relatively close together. Let's go ahead, take a look at Custom here, see what he can see, and there you see it, the 4 drivers battling for position 5 on track right now. On board with Custom, up the road, Captain Hood, in front of him, Creamy Johns, and then Double OT further out ahead. All drivers who are in the top 10 for our Drivers' Championship. Gonna be interesting to see. Custom's in the top 20.
And Getchum's gonna try into 130R, and he's gonna get it done.
Wow, Dr. McShorty does. Very nice. Wow, nice battle going for 11th now. Getchum, Shay B, and Dr. McShorty still. Nice, keeping that gap nice and close. Let's go ahead and ride along with Capita Hood, see what he can see. He's going to be looking for a move on Creamy Johns any minute here. Creamy Johns and Capita Hood have been racing on the same track for a very long time now. They're going to be extremely familiar with what each other's capabilities are behind the wheel of these cars, and Capita Hood, better than anyone, is going to know just how hard a defender Creamy Johns is. Part of the reason Creamy Johns has third place in the Constructors' Championship right now is because of the way he defends.
Yeah.
And the reason Capita Hood is in 6th in the Constructors' Championship is also because of that reason. Creamy Johns just able to defend the position that well.
Yeah, he just knows where to put his car on the entrance and on the exit of the corner.
Absolutely. One of the reasons that Creamy Johns has remained a dominant force to be contended with here throughout the season. Looks like Fluffy Dave's getting really close to Dragonbone. Wonder if we're going to see an attempt at that pass here into 130R.
No, but he might have a rundown into the triangle. He's going to take the outside line.
Oh, can he get it done? Mediums
No.
versus softs. No, he has to back off ever so
Big
slightly,
lockup.
but that was smart. Fluffy Dave pulled out of the move. Once he saw the lockup, he knew he had to fall back a little bit. He recovered well enough, though, that he doesn't have to worry about falling out of that DRS range. And really, that's key when you make mistakes like that. Step number 1, don't make mistakes. Step number 2, recover from the mistakes that you do make well. And he did it pretty well there.
And it looks like Dragonbone's tires are starting to come off just a little bit now. And it looks like Fluffy Dave's got the pace on him.
Now is about that time. Softs are rated by Pirelli to go 9 to 12 laps. So around lap number 7, if a driver's been pushing as hard as I assume Dragonbone has, being in 3rd place, you're going to see the grip start to fall off on those tires. Be watching for a few more lockups. I think if you're Dragonbone here, you try to go 2-3 more laps. If you slow down, that's okay, but your main goal is to keep Fluffy Dave behind you. That's when you want to pit and try the undercut on Fluffy Dave. Whether you go to the hards here or the mediums, I'm not entirely sure because you don't know what those medium runners are going to do. But for Dragonbone 81, I think expect to be seeing him pitting in the next 4 laps.
From this early, I think you have to go for a set of hards. Yeah, I think you almost have to start to set of softs, 13, 14 laps if you want to take it to a set of mediums. Maybe 13, I guess that would be 15 laps on the mediums then.
Yeah, you have to at least try. Coming to the DRS zone, here are the one of them that is on the track down the main straight. Because Suzuka is just one of those tracks that every corner looks like a passing opportunity, and there are a lot of them. But there may not be room for you, so you got to be careful. But what that gets you is one DRS zone to try and make a pass down the straight, and turn number 1 is not an easy one to pass into. So it's really not as strong of a tool as you would see at other tracks. Being able to race behind another driver and push another driver to make mistakes are really what pay off here at Suzuka.
And unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, but they can't put any more DRS zones in because at the end of all the straights, there are pretty much flat out turns. And the DRS only deactivates under braking. So if you're not going to brake going into the corner, you need that downforce, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, so we just got the main straight, but it does make for excellent racing, I think.
That it definitely does. We still have a lot of race left to go tonight, 19 laps to be specific, and it is pretty much anyone's race. Speaking of, let's go check in on our battle for 5th between Double OT, Creamy Johns, Capita Hood, and Custom. Capita Hood now just falling out of DRS range to Creamy Johns, but only 1/10, so just a small mistake by Creamy Johns would easily get Capita Hood back in that range. But right now, it seems like Creamy Johns is going to go try and make a run. Wow, Dragonbone 81 and Fluffy Dave looked like they were jockeying for position ever so slightly.
get a pass attempt into turn 1, and it might be easy here for Fluffy Dave. He'll be ahead of him into the corner.
Yeah, that he will be. Wow, part of a wing going flying. Fluffy Dave taking off the front part of Dragonbone 81's wing. He might have that looked at by the stewards.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Just the end plate, I think.
Yeah, so it's not
Fortunately
detrimental.
for him.
But I think you've got to pit. I don't think a driver who's used to running with more downforce can run that many laps around this track without it. Look at this. He's already going to be passed by Double OT here. Yeah, that may have ruined Dragonbone 81's race. He's going to have to pit and hope for a safety car to get a chance to get back up in it. Because look, Double OT able to carry that much more speed through the turns, even with the difference in compound. Dragonbone 81 has more raw grip,
and
but
I think Double OT just needs to be patient here.
he does, because he's really trying to run it up the gearbox, which is going to let Creamy Johns run into the back of him, as we almost saw around the hairpin there. He's got to be patient. He's got to wait his opportunity to get the pass done, even as frustrating as it may be to follow a car with this little downforce. To be honest, Dragonbone shouldn't fight him too hard here, and I think that's what he's trying to
fighting
do.
him very hard.
No, I think he also tried to get off left. I think he knows he's not going to be able to carry. Wow.
Oh, that's going to be
Never
scary for
mind.
Creamy John.
Yeah, I take that back. That was a bad line for Dragonbone 81 to pick. He tried to pick the inside there. He gets punished for it on the chicane. A lot of bumping going on around
And
with
he
the
will
Renault.
pit.
There he goes. He does pit. I think he realized
It
it
looks
was
like
time.
Custom's going to come past Capita Hood here.
Yeah, that bump with Capita Hood and Dragonbone 81 really lost him time. So they're going to go too wide into turn number
Capita
1. They bump.
Oh, it
Wow.
Looks like they almost touched again.
Capita
I'm
Hood
surprised
doesn't
Capita
give
Hood
up.
didn't
He
go
takes the
flying.
position back on the exit. What a move by Capita Hood, defending his
Wow.
position from Custom as hard as he possibly can there. Some fantastic driving. Wow. That was exciting to watch.
Shabam picking up a 3-second penalty. Corner cutting.
Capita Hood back into DRS range of Creamy Johns. He's going to try and make another run at him. The extra fight with Custom has put the kick back in to Capita Hood's pedal foot, or excuse me, accelerator foot, and he's going to slap it down, and there you go. He gets a tank slapper there out of the corner, is going to recover from it nicely, but gets hurt on the exit, is now going to be in danger from losing the position very quickly from Custom here. Custom is going to make a charge back at it, using all he can, all of the energy he can left in the battery, and all he can get out of the engine modes to try and make a run at Capita Hood here. Gets the slipstream down the main straight. Capita Hood not worried about it too much yet.
Yeah, and we'll have a 4-man DRS train here now with Double OT at the front.
Very true, Capita Hood.
Maybe not. Creamy Johns
Ooh,
out
falling
of
out.
DRS range.
True, I don't know if he's going to get...
He will not, but Capita Hood and Custom do behind him.
Wow, so look at that gap close. Capita Hood now down to only half a second between himself and Creamy Johns. Capita Hood pulling double duty here, having to attack and defend, as we see so often in this stage of the race. That we've got our drivers that are just following that closely with each other, and it's that close on tire strategy as well. Keep in mind, Creamy Johns, Capita Hood, and Custom, as of this point in the race, are on identical tire strategies, and it's something that they're gonna have to consider going into the closing stages of the race. I mean, we're not even quite halfway yet, so we have a little while before we start to get into those closing stages, but it's something that they definitely should be thinking about at this point in time.
Yeah, and I think now is when we're going to start to see well, Dragonbone's already in because of that wing incident, but if the soft drivers are going to switch to hards, now I think it's about when we're going to see them go in. Next couple laps here.
21 laps you're able to go on the hards, so they're well within that window. They get to 31 laps on the hards without seeing the grip fall off. Dragonbone 81 so far the only one on the hards, and he kind of got forced into those just because of the way his wing ended up working out, having to go get a new one unplanned.
We have a three-way battle for 10th right now.
Let's go ahead and see what's going on down there. Oh, oh, there we go. Shabam, wow, Shabam overcooks it a little bit, has to cut the chicane on the exit there. Following along with Dr. McShorty, he's going to try and capitalize on some of that. Stoney goes into the pits, decides that he needs a new set of tires. Renault definitely gets the run on him. Is going to go around the outside. Oh, wow. Really gets the job done by turn number 1. He's got no problem getting that pass done. Dr. McShorty does. Now he's just got to keep it there. They are on evenly matched tires. So I think if you're Shabam here, you probably pit next lap. Dr. McShorty, it's kind of up to you. It depends on how worried you are about the undercut at this point in the race. Shabam looks like he's gone around on track.
Yeah.
Let's try and catch up with him.
About halfway through this race, and we've got Capita Hood, Dragonbone, Shabam, and Stoney all with 3 seconds worth of time penalties, and Dr. McShorty and Red Hornet all with 6.
Shabam just can't keep it together. He had a little bit of a spin. His tires are red hot at the moment, dodging traffic to try and get back to the pit lane. He's got...
Oh, and here comes Stoney.
Ooh, gets past him okay. Ferrari's struggling to keep it back, but I don't think he's going to have to pit. I think he's going to be okay if he decides that he can get his tires under control temperature-wise. He may have spent enough of them that he decides that this is what he wants to do, or he wants to pit and change them out. But we will see. Oh, Capita Hood, while we were distracted, gets the pass done on Creamy Johns. Capita Hood now up into 5th place, is going to be very happy with that. So far, our top 4 drivers, Richie, Some Idiot, Fluffy Dave, Double OT, and Double OT, are all without penalties. Capita Hood, the only one in the top 8 with penalties at the moment. Dr. McShorty, Dragonbone bringing penalties to the table as well.
Yeah, I don't think Creamy Johns is very happy with his current set of mediums. He's lost quite a bit of pace to Double OT and Capita Hood. Ruda picks up a 3-second time penalty.
The other drivers just seeming to be able to manage them a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, Capita Hood almost 7/10 in front of him. After that pass, we'll see what happens down the straight here.
Potential battle going on for 11th in the backfield as well between Nick, Rogue, and Shay B. Excuse me, Dragonbone, Nick, and Rogue. Shay B 4.5 seconds down the road from the battle yet. But Rogue looks like he's going to be setting up to try and make a pass on Nick here. Nick is on those fresh hards, so Rogue has maybe 1 lap to do this before Nick's hards decide to get up to temperature and he starts putting in competitive laps. Double OT into the pits.
I think we might see Rogue pit pretty quick here. I don't know why you'd want to try and get past Nick here. Unless you can get past him real clean if he makes a mistake, but I don't think his pace is going to be that much better than Nick's on those old softs, almost dead softs.
Yeah, that's just
Nick's got a fresh set of tires.
Yeah, if Nick's able to keep his head on
Rogue
his
into the
shoulders.
pits.
Yeah, there he
as
is.
I say that. Probably onto a set of mediums here for the end.
Double OT just pitted. He is now on the hard tire, so drivers still opting for the hard at this point in the race. Stoney, first one on to mediums, down in 15th.
Yeah, and
He's
it
gonna
looks
be the
like
first
Rogue
driver
onto
to
a set of
experiment
hards
with
as well.
So Rogue deciding hards is still the tire with just over half of the race done.
Although
The hard tire seems to be it.
see we have our top 7 all on mediums. All have gone 13 laps. Will have gone 14 this time around. So I'm not sure why the decision to go to hards on this lap.
Yeah, it's better than softs at this point, to be honest. I mean, if you're started from the mediums, you can't go to the softs. But for Dragonbone, the hard, I think, was an interesting choice. I think he probably could have taken mediums to the end of the race.
Yeah, Rogue as well.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you go 10 laps into a race with the softs.
But if you're more comfortable on the hards than the mediums, you know, pick the tire you're more comfortable with.
Yeah, I guess that's really all that matters in the end is if the driver's able to actually get it around the track. Capita Hood putting on his racing pants today, up 4.8 seconds shy of Fluffy Dave and looking to close that gap. I think he's going to be watching for the pit here. I think Capita Hood pits when Fluffy Dave pits right now, and not any sooner, because if Capita Hood gets caught in traffic, Fluffy Dave doesn't. It could just ruin Capita Hood's chance at getting on the podium today.
I think you want to force Fluffy Dave to react to you. I know it would be a very big risk, but to go onto a set of softs now, you would be just at their tire life range. But if you can get an undercut on Fluffy Dave, I imagine a fresh set of softs would be quite a bit quicker
I would have
than
to imagine. It
Fluffy
depends.
Dave's 14 lap old mediums.
Absolutely. I mean, and it just at this point is, can you make them last to the end of the race and be competitive? I think what we've got going on right now is just a classic standoff between a lot of our drivers. They're just looking at each other saying, are you going to pit? No. Are you going to pit? Wait, what about you? Are you going to pit? Because right now, none of them want to be the first one to switch onto those softs, because that means that they're going to be the slowest on those softs in the closing stages of the race. And we're close enough between our cars that that's going to matter. Every little bit that the delta changes
See, I
from the
think-
switch from medium to softs is going to have an influence on this race.
I think this would be a good lap for some idiot to pit. If Santa Ricci obviously doesn't. Just force him into it, you know what I mean? Because if you go to those softs, he has to pit next lap now. He has to cover you off.
That's true. So someone's got to be the first to pull the trigger, and I think we're going to see them fall like dominoes once that happens. Looking right now, we're actually getting a pretty good battle shaping up in our top three. Richie, Some Idiot, and Fluffy Dave all within a couple seconds of each other. They're all, they think, gonna really be giving each other a challenge here at the end. Oh, I shouldn't say that's Fluffy Dave.
Fluffy Dave is quite a bit farther back. That's the lap
Yeah.
car of Red Hornet, I believe.
That's right, that's the Mercedes. Okay, you're right. Yep, so that's Red Hornet. First driver to be lapped at the moment. See if he can unlap himself with a safety car at some point.
They don't do that in this game.
No, but if you're close enough to the front runners and they end up pitting and you're in the back, you can kind of leapfrog them. So it's not like,
That's fair. I guess,
you don't
and
get a
that
free
will
pass.
probably happen here very shortly. Anyways.
That's true.
Because they will have to pit and they go back. And yeah, as I say, that Santa Ricci into the pits.
So yeah, Richie goes
See,
in.
and
Now
now-
is chance for Some Idiot to put his pedal down, or put his foot down and get a super hot lap in on these softs. He needs this, or excuse me, in on these mediums before Richie's softs warm up.
Ooh, custom with 5 seconds for speeding in the pits.
Ooh, unfortunate.
Cabot
That
Hood
may have
decides to
ruined his
stay
chance.
out. Yeah, Cabot Hood and Some Idiot, the only ones deciding to stay out.
See, here's the chain reaction we said we were going to see. We've got Fluffy Dave, Creamy John's, Custom, Ruta, and Double OT all in the pits now, deciding to trade in their mediums for a new set. Most of the drivers
We'll
picking
see.
softs now.
Ooh. Double OT onto a set of... Oh, maybe he pitted 2 laps ago onto hards.
Custom and Creamy John's in a very close race off the pits. This is going to be an exciting one. Both drivers on fresh softs with the thought they have to keep in mind that they have to go to the end of the race. It's going to be interesting to see how this battle in particular plays out, because they need to use some of their tire life to stay, Creamy John's to stay ahead, or Custom to catch up, but they need to save it to battle with Dragonbone and Ruta, who are behind them in the closing stages of the race, especially because Dragonbone is on those hard tires. Expect him to have very consistent lap times from here to the end of the
he
race.
just picked up a 3-second time penalty. I think that was his second.
Absolutely, and you look at Ruta down in 9th. He just pitted onto soft, so he will do the same number of laps that Custom and Creamy John's do. However, if Custom and Creamy John's are pushing those softs so much harder at this stage of the race, Ruta's going to catch up later on because he's got more
Capita
time.
and Semi into the pits. And Santa will come out well ahead of Some Idiot.
Richie with the undercut working well. Some Idiot now
Look
has
at
2
that.
extra seconds. He has to claw back from that gap. Capit Hood out onto the track as Double OT flies by.
When he's going to be battling with Creamy John and exit.
Wow,
Could've
Creamy
just
John's
pulled him
right
off.
there. Back to our 3-way battle for 5th place with Capit Hood, Creamy John's, and Custom. Capit Hood lost a little bit of the gap that he worked so hard to create in front of Creamy John's, but I think right now he's probably just happy that he got out ahead of Creamy John's. Their tires are similar ages between the two, so it's going to be interesting. Capita Hoods are not up to temp as of yet, but they should be shortly. Creamy John's coming up behind Capita Hood. He's going to try and close that gap before Capita Hood's tires get up to temp. But at least at this point, it looks like Capita Hood's starting to establish a little bit of a gap. at the very least, he's starting to close the gap to Double OT. Because Captain Hood's sights right now aren't necessarily set on Double OT. They're on different tire strategies. So I think it's safe to say that Captain Hood will have a chance to pass Double OT in the next 2 or 3 laps here. Captain Hood right now
Red
playing the
Hornet
long
into the
game, looking
pits
at Fluffy
after
Dave.
2 laps. That was an interesting decision by him.
I wonder if the wing had something to do with that. Maybe deciding that the softs aren't quite right. He hasn't been putting any time on his tires. Wow, big lockup from Creamy Johns. That's going to put him possibly out of DRS range on Captain Hood. He falls back to 9/10 behind.
He already had that. The detection point is right before the triangle.
I see. So that's actually going to put him in danger of being passed by Custom sooner rather than later. Custom not having DRS range this time around, but now only 1/10 separates Custom from his look at a DRS zone on Creamy Johns. Captain Hood will be the next one here, maybe to make a pass. More than likely, Captain Hood closing that gap as we were talking about to Double OT. I think it's going to be probably in the next lap or definitely
and
2
Ruda
laps.
retires.
Wow, Ruda goes around on the hairpin. Sector 1 yellow flag. Let's see if we get virtual
into
safety car.
Degba 1. Looked like he missed his braking zone and he flew off.
That's right, not the hairpin quite.
Oh
Let's see
no,
if-
sorry, that is turn 1.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
sorry,
I
I
said
was
the
looking at the
hairpin.
wrong part of the track.
Yeah, there you can see him. He's way out on the outside of the track in the gravel. Not going to be able to continue,
Oh, and
unfortunately.
a virtual safety car.
It's out.
And I don't think anyone will be pitting to take advantage of this unless
Well-
they have some wing damage.
No, I think all the drivers are pretty happy with their tires. I could see Dragonbone
Maybe
and Nick
Double
possibly
OT?
pitting. Nah, we're past
He would
it
pit
now.
too far back.
Yep, no ad.
Oh, and Dragonbone with a drive-through for speeding.
Oh, unfortunate.
And that will ruin his chance at points, I think.
He wasn't even in the pit lane this time, though. That was weird.
No, speeding under virtual safety car.
Oh, I see. Yep, that's always a tough one to swallow because that one is avoidable most of the time. I believe the game gets it right. It's annoying about it, but I think that's one it does calculate correctly. Captain Hood gonna get a run on Double OT down the DRS zone here. He's gonna try and get the pass done. I think it's gonna work. That's an awful camera angle. It's gonna work. He gets past him down into turn number 1. Gets past the Alfa Romeo. Double OT next has to worry about Creamy Johns. Captain Hood starting to put time on Double OT already and starting to take time out of Fluffy Dave. It looks like 4.7 seconds separate Captain Hood in
Wow.
4th from Fluffy Dave in 3rd.
I mean, Captain Hood is going to have to be absolutely flying if he wants to catch Fluffy Dave.
Oh, definitely.
I would
7
love
laps
to
left,
see a
4.5
battle.
seconds left to close.
Some idiot within 2 seconds of Richie now. I'm gonna have to close in like 3/10 a lap if he wants to try and pass him, but
Dr. McShorty ending up
Doable.
backwards on the main straight, able to get it around in time and going the right direction, missing his right end plate entirely. So yeah, not to mention Captain Hood does have that penalty. So he does have to
Yeah.
get 3 seconds past Fluffy Dave. So it's not just 4.5 seconds. He's got 7.4 seconds or
Oh.
so. So it's about a second per
as-
lap.
and as I say, some idiot needs to be putting time on Santa Richie. Santa Richie does a new fastest lap.
Some idiot not doing too poorly, though, keeping it pretty close to him. Creamy Johns is going to try and get the next pass done on Double OT. He
gonna
can't
be
get
tough.
overzealous, but he's got to be eager to, because right now Captain Hood's is within his sights, but a couple
Oh,
more laps behind Double
Great
OT and he's
run
going to slip
on
away.
the last turn.
He's going to pull alongside, try and brake. He has to brake a little earlier. Gets the crossover. Oh, my
little
God.
Touch, little
What?
touch.
Very little touch, but very nice move by Creamy
Now
Johns
double
here.
OT with the inside line.
Goes around. Wow! Oh, slides out and he
Oh.
loses it. Oh, unfortunate from Creamy Johns. Just
And
flies a little close to the sun on the
Unfortunate for
passing
Dragonbone
opportunity.
to add insult to injury. Dragonbone gets a speeding in the pit lane penalty while serving his drive-through.
Oh my God, Creamy Johns just
And
upsetting for
Gitchum
him there.
retires.
Chance
And
at
we
the
have a safety
podium.
car.
Whoa, full safety car. There was an incident there on the main straight. Looks like Rogue Steel dealing with it. And we got the racing
yeah.
point. What's
And
going
now-
on here?
And now Rogue into the pits. It looks like Rogue and maybe Gitchum got into it
Wow.
on the last corner.
Full safety car from something we weren't even looking at. We had our own worries to worry about with Creamy Johns. Creamy Johns, if he had to be screwed over by that touch there, which I'm not sure, I think That's a racing incident. Both drivers looked really clean. I think it was just a little bit too much for Creamy Johns to handle. The back end started to slide out, and he just couldn't save it.
You can't go too wide into the S's. It just doesn't work.
No,
There's
you
not
can't.
enough space. Someone is bound to slide out into the other person.
Drivers in the pits like crazy. Richie and Some Idiot both pitting.
Yeah, wow. I'm actually surprised Some Idiot doesn't stay out. Oh, a double OT speeding in the pit lane.
Fluffy Dave gonna take his chances to get his
and that's
spot.
why I say that. I am Santa Richie's been faster than Some Idiot all day, on intermediates, on softs, on mediums. If I was Some Idiot, I think I would want to take my chances with a little bit older tires and track position.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think aggressive defending is probably Some Idiot's best chance unless he just really believes in the pace on those soft tires. I don't think he's going to have a problem getting the spot back from Fluffy Dave, although who knows? Fluffy Dave could really give him a run for his money when it comes to the defending the position. But Richie, as you said, we know has faster pace, especially in clean air, than Some Idiot does.
Yeah,
this is shaping up to be a very exciting closing to the race.
And even if Some Idiot does make quick work of Fluffy Dave, that's going to be enough time for Santa Richie to probably get a little bit of a gap to Some Idiot and make it just that much more difficult for him to catch him.
No doubt about that. Wow, we're going to get a very exciting finish to the race. I think we're probably going to have about 4 laps under green. We'll see how long it waits. If it waits for the full pack to close up, then it probably is going to wait. It'll probably wait, until we have 4 laps left or so. I'm hoping no fewer than that. Shabam disqualified from the session for ignoring yellow flags. I don't know that I've seen that one.
I've seen that, but I'd never seen it under yellow flag or under safety car. I don't know what yellow flags he was ignoring.
Yeah, that's really surprising.
I mean, we're behind the safety car. How he can't? It's not like he passed the safety car, was it?
I don't
Maybe
think
he did.
so. No, I mean, at least judging by where he was on the track, it didn't look like it. Wow, very.
So it looks like only a little bit of lap traffic now. Behind Some Idiot is Dr. McShorty in 13th and Red Hornet in 14th. But other than that, there is not a lot of lap traffic.
So they're going to provide a little bit of a buffer between Some Idiot and Double OT, if I heard that right. They're going to get themselves kind of, wedged in there. And so Some Idiot is going to, I think, be thankful for that. Because at least on the race start, he knows that the driver...
No one's coming for him.
Yeah, that Double OT is going to be held up by him. He has to be. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. McShorty and Red Hornet are going to be in a very tricky position.
Even when they get out of the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're going to be
Double
looking to
OT
get
is
out of the way
going to try
right
and
away.
pass them. I think he's going to be told to give the position back. Yep.
He's got to be careful. That's the kind of thing that glitches a safety car in this game. Throw at something it's not expecting and expect something you weren't to happen.
And I imagine we will see the safety car in this lap. It'll give us 3 racing laps to the end and 1 lap at the end with DRS.
Ooh, it's going to be some great ones, I think. The drivers are all bunching up.
2 laps at the end with DRS.
Yeah, 2 laps at the end. Okay, so yeah, we
Poor
are going to
math.
see 2 full DRS laps. So watch for the drivers. They're going to be wanting to break that DRS train as soon as they possibly can. Man, this is going to be extremely exciting.
Yeah. And we'll see. They should be getting the call anytime now. Safety car coming in. Let's see. Lights are still on.
So Cosmo, as a driver, where do you go? If you're Richie here, where do you put your foot down and
I think
take off?
Here, I think it's right after that bump. And you maybe hope to catch out the guy behind you, getting it down a little bit flat while he's on that bump.
That's possible.
dip
I
in the
think
track.
that's one way. I see. Part of what I don't like about long sweeping turns on a restart, at least when it's the last
Safety
turn of the
car in
track,
this lap.
is that you have to go at the end of the last turn unless you slow down during the main straight. Which you can a little bit, but the start finish line comes up pretty quickly.
I mean, and he could start. He could go here because safety car is already in. Very, very short pit stop.
And there he goes. He is
that's
off.
what he's gonna do right at the bump.
Wow, Richie really gets a jump on
Oh.
Fluffy Dave. Caught him almost sleeping.
Fluffy Dave, I think, or Double OT, or not Double OT, some idiot, someone picks up a penalty for a collision.
Looks like Dragon Bone falling down positions now. He is off, sitting on the side of the track. I
Some
don't know
idiot
that he's
and
gonna
Fluffy
recover.
Dave, both with 5-second penalties. So that's almost going to gift Santa Richie this win.
On the
Dragon
restart
Bone
here, our
retired.
drivers are battling very closely. We got Double OT, Captain Hood, Custom, and Creamy Johns all battling
Dr.
for
McShory
fourth
into
at
the
the moment.
gravel. Oh, and he's just going to let everyone by. Okay. It was an interesting way to do it, but
See what you can. Yellow flag sector 3 still caused by Dragon Bone 81. He goes ahead and
nope. That would be. Oh, yeah, I guess that is the part of Sector 3. Never mind.
all right. Next we got Capital Hood and Custom going at it. Custom goes down the inside on the hairpin. Wow, what a risky move to make. Capital Hood doesn't
Hood's
quite
going
let him
back
have
at
it.
him.
Stays on the inside, gets out in front, gets the position back, but Custom is not going to let him have that one that easily. He's going to stay right there and try and battle him for it. Creamy Johns trying to save a race
Oh.
that went from okay to bad right now,
And,
battling with our
And
drivers.
some idiot has wing damage. He is missing his right end plate.
Wow, not what you want to see if you're some idiot
so-
at this point. Capital Hood gets the pass done. He's in fourth. With some idiot with that wing damage,
And
Capital Hood
actually, if
has
he
a
could-
chance to pass him here.
And some idiot has 5 seconds of penalty. Capital Hood only with 3. So if he can
Wow.
stay within 2 seconds of some idiot.
Some idiot
And
getting
Fluffy
the
Dave.
rare
Fluffy
5-second
Dave also
penalty.
5 seconds of penalties.
So I'd be watching to see them maybe. I don't know how that happened. Fluffy Dave and some idiot both aren't really one for penalties normally, so it could have been a glitch.
They collided into each other.
Oh, I see. So if I was Capital Hood here, I wouldn't be counting on those penalties to stick. You can appeal certain penalties after the race, and I'd expect if it was a collision, Fluffy Dave and some idiot are both going to be looking to do that. Double OT right now looking to see, oh, wow, if Custom's going to come around the outside of him, and he's going to try, but he's not going to quite get it done. Custom has to go too far on the exit there and is going to lose it a little bit, but gets it caught ever so slightly. Shay B 1.1 seconds behind Rogue, but riding on board with Rogue right now, tries to send it deep into the hairpin, can't quite get it done. Nick is going to stay out ahead at the moment, but look, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a very close battle for fifth between Double OT, Custom, Creamy Johns, Nick, and Rogue. Capital Hood trying to track down some idiot on track here. Now, half a second within distance of him, but he's going to need to wait for the DRS range.
And Double OT has 10 seconds worth of penalties, so this is sure to drop him out of the points almost.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult because Double OT now goes potentially behind Rogue with that much time and penalties, especially
Shay B
because
even.
Creamy Johns, Nick, Rogue, and Shay B all don't have any penalties on their time. So expect
And
that
DRS
to
enabled
see
this lap.
to impact heavily what happens in the closing stage of the races here.
I think Custom should be able to take
shoot.
Double OT. Maybe not. He does not have DRS. I thought he would.
Custom
a
stays
little
behind
crutch.
Double OT.
Little touch, and Custom's gonna get past him.
Wow, Double OT now missing the front left part of his end plate there. He's going to find grip, fall away from him. Wow, what a disaster for Double OT. He's going to be falling back positions like crazy with all those drivers being so close. He gets passed by 2 McLarens in a row here. He's going to try and give up a fight against Rogue, but he can only fight so much when your wing looks like that. Clips the inside, might have taken another corner cutting
Shay
penalty,
B with 3
but at this point it
seconds.
doesn't quite matter. He's just got to keep him behind him. Creamy John's going to try and challenge Custom here any minute with a little bit of a lockup from Creamy John's. Custom getting a bit out of sorts through the hairpin is able to recover quite nicely. Captain Hood still looking for that third place position. Has it on the timesheets, but needs it on the track if he's going to try and challenge Fluffy Dave in the last 2 laps here. Creamy John's trying to chase down Custom
Yeah.
with all his might,
And I
but Stoney
I think it might be
even
his
in
into
the running.
130R. Some idiot's gonna try the inside line. He's not gonna.
Let's watch our DRS train of drivers from Stoney, JB, Nick, Rogue, Double OT, Creamy John's Custom, all attempt 130R here. We'll see if we get any
Capital
position
Hood
changes.
down the inside, can't hold it. But I
Not
think
gonna
he
get it
should be
done.
able to take him into turn 1 here.
Let's see, Captain Hood is going to get the DRS activation. Opens that rear wing. Gets very close to some idiot, pulls around, decides he's going to try for the outside. Some idiot
Yeah,
sticking
and
to
that's
the
where you wanna
inside
be.
line. But some idiot's just not able to hold on with his missing end plate there. Capital Hood getting that done. I don't want to say easily because that's not an easy place to pass. Oh, we have a McLaren of, is that Rogue?
Yes.
was on the track there. Might have just collided a bit with Stoney in 11. Stoney might be missing some of his wing there. Yes, he
He
is.
slowed down a lot. Oh, yeah, almost all of the right half.
Very unfortunate from the Red Bull driver.
And
There's Fluffy
Capita
Dave
Hood.
with Capita Hood in his rearview mirror. Capita Hood going to be
And
trying to
Capita Hood
close that
had-
position.
On the time sheets now.
On time, on track, and on the timesheets, Captain Hood, it is looking good for his podium here. Is this going to be the first time this season that some idiot does not finish on the podium? It might just be. Our
Don't say it. As Capita Hood almost bins it going out of
Oh,
spoon.
jeez. Watch out, Captain Hood. Come on, you gotta keep it together for the last sector of the race here. Richie, clean out ahead.
No.
He's gonna finish across the start-finish line. It looks like he's gonna take that home. Other
look.
positions up for grabs are Custom and Creamy Johns. They're gonna be battling going into the closing stages of the race here. Richie crosses the start-finish line, takes home first position. Next, we got Fluffy Dave coming down the main straight, is able to keep it ahead of Captain Hood. Captain Hood gets it ahead.
Capita Hood.
Goes ahead on time? Then Creamy
Creamy
Johns?
Johns.
What's going on? I didn't even see that as far as time penalties go. Wow, it was that close of a race with the finish to it. Time penalties, once they shake out, have given us a podium that I was not expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting this from the start, but some idiot, look at where he finished. 7th place. That is unheard of for some idiot this season. He has been on podium 17 out of 17 races up until now. He gets knocked down to 7th. Richie, Creamy Johns, Capita Hood are your podium runners. Wow, devastating race for some idiot. Capita Hood drives an amazing race, taking advantage of all of the opportunities given to him, making the passes when he needs to, getting it done like it's no problem, getting it up there, and
Wow.
really just rising to the occasion, Captain Hood is.
Yeah, that end of the race safety car always spices things up. And
That
JB
it
in 11th
does.
with driver of the day.
Interesting. Not saying he did a bad job, but not saying he'd be my first pick for driver of the day. Capita Hood might be one, but that's biased. So I think if we look at overall passes, I think Creamy Johns had a very decent race today. He was able to do exactly what he needed to get on second, obviously, take advantage of those penalties. Very clean race, you know, and he got the reward for it. Look at him. There he is on the podium, and that is, you know, what you expect to see when you get a driver that keeps their race that clean. All right, there you have it. There is our finishing order tonight. We've got Richie out in front, followed by Creamy Johns, Capita Hood, then Fluffy Dave in 4th, Custom in 5th, Nick in 6th, Some Idiot in 7th, Shay B in 8th, Rogan 9th, Double OT 10th, Stoney in 11th, Red Hornet in 12th, Dr. McShorty 13th, Dragonbone 81 in 14th, Shazam in 15th, Getchum finished 16th, Ruda finished 17th, and a DNF from...
I apologize. I got the Red Bulls mixed up. I thought Shaby finished 11th. That was Stoney. Shaby in 8th.
Ah, Shay B in 8th. Yeah, Red Bull, nice.
That is a good race. 17th.
Yeah, pretty good race
8th.
for Red Bull there. I wouldn't knock that at all. 8th is going to bring home a decent amount of points. Of course, 5 drivers with a DNF this race. Dragonbone 81, Shazam, and Getchum, Ruda, and Henners all with a DNF this race. Either not liking how their race is going or being forced to end it with a wall, unfortunately. Just how that goes sometimes. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our race at Suzuka. I'm going to go ahead and try and get into the interview room tonight because we've got to talk about that race. That was extremely exciting. Cosmo, I'm going to meet you over there. Perfect. While we wait for Cosmo to catch up, I'm going to try and get our podium finishers here into the booth. First of all, we have Silent joining our wait a second, I'm connecting some dots. Okay, so Richie joining us in the room, aka Silent Ace or Silent
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. I like it. Congratulations on your race win tonight. Looked like you pretty much had that one just about in the bag. It didn't seem dare I say it, it looked almost slightly easy from this side of the glass. Walk us through your race a little bit. What were some of the things that concerned you?
I was a little low on fuel, but I was super good out of the hairpin. I could gain like 2 10s, and I managed to, keep him out of DRS the whole first stint basically. And then I also did an undercut, which I'm not fully sure why he didn't follow me, but mm,
Yeah, were you worried that when he didn't, or at least at that stage of the race before he didn't follow you in with the undercut, were you worried that it was going to get close between you? Because it seemed like he was going to maybe put some time on you there. But it seemed like you had him pretty much covered. But were you worried at all?
no, because well, at my outlap, I was just smashing everything at the wall, going max CRS, max fuel, and I came out and I had like a 3 second gap, which then after that he went all out and managed to get the gap back to like 1.2, and then there was a safety car and we both pitted because there was like 20-second gap to P3, and I'm not sure what happened at the restart, but I think he got damaged on the restart, and from there I could just cruise away to the finish.
Yeah, having Fluffy Dave between the two of you for the restart gave you a little bit of a blocker as well, and then you're right, yeah, a little bit of an end plate fell off, and I think the rest of the race was downhill from there for some idiot. So that was a great race you raced tonight. I think you put your car in all the places you needed to, and obviously you had the pace, so congratulations on your win tonight at Suzuka. I will be sure to combine your names on the points sheet, because right now I have you as two different people, as Richie and Silent Ace. Oddly enough, as two different people, you're very close to yourself in the points championship. Silent Ace has 43 and Richie has 50. So you're going to be up into the 90s now. We'll go ahead and get that updated for next week. But congratulations this week. Nice race win. Next week, I believe we are in the U.S. Are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah and no. I'm all right at the track. Just I still need some more practice, but it'll be all right for next week.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you luck, and we hope to see you on track if you can deliver as exciting of a race as you did this time. I'm looking very much forward to next week and seeing what you can deliver.
GG's.
All right, next on to our second place finisher, we have Creamy Johns, aka Cream. Congratulations on the second place finish. Honestly, we couldn't keep track of all the time penalties going on. We didn't see you as a contender for the podium, but lo and behold, at the last second, your name shot up the timing sheet and you were just where you needed to be right when you needed to be. Were you expecting to go that high up the timing sheets as you crossed the line?
After that ridiculous restart, yeah, I knew it was going to happen. Because there's probably 3 or 4 people at least that got penalties that shouldn't have, because Ace, or whatever his name is, Richie, decided to slam the brakes out of the last corner and cause a huge pile up. So that's why he got damage. And yeah, I just benefited from the penalties. I think once everything gets cleared, if they get cleared, then I'll probably go back to like 4th or 5th where I probably should have been today.
Sure, but yeah, you were able to take advantage of that safety car. Yeah, one of the, probably you're the one that benefited it from the most, I would guess. I mean, coming in second is evidence enough to support that. So, what were you happy with your strategy and the way it played out? Because it looked like you were battling for the top positions, but then you kind of started to fall back towards the middle of the race. What was your take on that? Do you think you would have gone with a different strategy?
The strategy was fine. It's just I never ran this exact setup in a dry conditions. I wasn't really getting a feel for it until probably halfway through, and by that time the tires were already starting to go off. And yeah, it was rough because I did a race here 2 weeks ago, and I was probably like 7/10 an average faster than what I was today. So it was just nowhere.
No, that's fair, but it was worked out for you in the end. You got where you needed to be, treated the tires nice, and was able to squeak your way in there. Congratulations on that. Next week, we look forward to the United States. Is that a strong track for you?
Yeah, it probably will be. I'm not so worried about the pace. It's just the penalties I'm concerned about, because it's so easy to get a warning and a penalty, like a 3-second time penalty around there. So we'll see how it goes.
That's fair. Well, good luck. We'll be looking on from the commentator's booth, watching your race closely next week to see how you do. You're obviously up there in the top of the points battle. So we'd love to see you gain a few more positions. We'll see you next week. And thanks for joining us today, Cream. On to our third place finisher, Capita Hood. Congratulations on the podium. A hard-fought race for you today. Your race was kind of all over the place as far as before pits, after pits. Your consistency seemed like it was there. But kind of walk us through what you were thinking. Were you ever worried that you were going to be falling out of maybe the top 5 positions?
Yeah, initially, early on in the race, I was the only guy with a 3-second penalty, it seemed like. So I was kind of hoping that other people would grab that at the end. And yeah, I could definitely never hit that hairpin correctly. I don't know. I still don't know how to hit it. Kept getting oversteer out of the corner or going way too slow. So, but and eventually down the line, people picked up some penalties. And of course, yeah, like Cream said, there's that safety car debacle, and I'm sure some penalties will be removed from what I've seen. So this is a short-lived podium. I'm sure we'll see that change up here shortly. But yeah, it was a fun race and able to get some decent overtakes on track, which was fun.
Yeah, definitely. It was very exciting to watch the battles for position. You picked some very good spots to overtake, going side by side with a couple cars, I think, through the S's, and maybe even 130R at one point. It was, yeah, just fantastic. You definitely had what it took today to get the passes done on track at least. So even if the timing doesn't quite work out and you end up dropping off the podium, you were still a contender in my book. So thank you very much for the effort you put in tonight. It was just fantastic. Any other thoughts on your race or your performance tonight?
I was just super happy with that pass around the outside of some idiot. I know he had wing damage and all, but being able to do that on a guy like that was pretty fun. But he almost kept the position, which is insane considering he had a decent amount of wing damage. So it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It's definitely a lot of fun to watch. Looking at the points, I believe this week this moves you up from 6th. I think you're going to leapfrog Hammer Time 44 up to 5th position in the Drivers' Championship. So picking them off slowly, Dragon Bone 81 is going to be your next one to contend with, and I think you're going to close on him before the end of the season. You're at least definitely going to have a chance to. So good luck in the next few races. We're going to be watching that gap closely.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope to make my way up the standings as much as possible. I know USA is next week, so that's one of my better tracks. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully I can try and get P4 next time.
Fantastic. Just what I want to hear. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming out and interviewing, talking with our fans a little bit. We will see you next week, and hope to see you on track.
Thank you very much, guys. Great commentary as always.
Thank you. All right. Back to it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for us tonight. That is round number 18 of 22 at Suzuka for Season 2 of PCD1. First night on Twitch. Cosmo, I think it went pretty well. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I prefer watching streams on Twitch to YouTube, so hopefully it'll be beneficial to us. Do you know, are all of our broadcasts still going to be uploaded to YouTube?
Yes. So, yes. Okay, good. Yeah, this is probably a good time to recap for those of you still walking around. What is hanging around? What is going on with the YouTube channel? So, all of our races will still be uploaded to YouTube, even though we're not streaming on YouTube anymore. So, what that means is the stream's going to happen here on Twitch, and then we're going to export it to YouTube. So, if you want to go watch the race back, you can on Twitch, but that only lasts for 2 weeks up until it gets erased automatically. However, it will remain indefinitely on YouTube. So you want to catch up on a race you missed, can't watch it within a couple weeks, go ahead, head over to YouTube, watch the race, head over to our Discord if you're not a part of it, go to ppresports.com to figure out how to join, and we can get you either on race with some of the drivers or in the commentary booth, depending on what you're looking for and whatever you feel you'd be best suited for. We've got all sorts of positions open. Well, thank you everyone for coming out tonight and supporting your local racers. I wouldn't be doing this without you. Thanks for all the activity in the chat. I'm looking forward to our future here on Twitch, Season 2 and beyond. Don't forget, we've got other leagues as well. Wednesday nights, we've got PCT2. You'll see myself on track tomorrow, Tuesday, around 7:30 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. We've got plenty of leagues of Xbox, so stop in to see how those turn out. PS4 is on Thursdays, and Xbox Division 5 is on Fridays. So stop in for more action all week long. Be sure to check out our Assetto Corsa Competizione race as well. That is on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, I believe, is when the race starts. Qualifying starts at 3:45 p.m. Eastern, so don't miss that. We've got some very competitive drivers, including some drivers that race in Moto America, the GT race here in the States. So be on the lookout for that. Stop by, hop in chat. We're out here. We're doing it for you. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. We love all the support we get from the community. We wouldn't be doing it without you. That concludes our stream for tonight. Race round number 18 of 22 here at Suzuka. Thanks, everyone, for stopping out, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great night, everyone.
Destination unknown.